is Ruel's Running Podcast, a podcast about running, health, family, play, and an NSNG lifestyle. And now, here's your host, Ruel.
Excuse me as I rock on. That's Went Away by Dorothy Lane. Dorothy Lane out of Martinez, California. That's out of the Cut and Dry album. Check them out at DorothyLaneMusic.com. Yeah. Okay, everybody. Welcome to the latest podcast. When I mean latest, I mean another podcast is delayed being published. It's Ruel's Running Podcast, and I'm your host, as Anna said in the intro, Ruel. So let me start off by saying, I miss you guys, and I know that doesn't mean a lot coming from me, but I do. And I'm actually momentarily depressed because it's my first time flipping on the recorder in a while, and I realized that I lost a lot of recording stuff that I had most of it, which is stuff that I've already published, but you know, there was still some stuff that I had saved and I had yet to publish, and for some reason it's all blown away. I think I know why it's all blown away, but it's blown away. You know, it includes things like non-related podcast recordings, you know, things of my daughter. You know, I would record her audio for parts of her assignments, you know, and I would, rather than just record her doing her assignment, reciting some things and whatnot, and deleting it, I would just hold on to it and, you know, with plans to look back and re-listen and, like, remember how small and young she was when she was, you know, recording her audio. Some things were audio notes for other things. So what I suspect happened was an iOS update killed it all. Bastards. You know, and that hadn't been the case before. You know, I would do the update, and the update happens, and then it's fine. But, those are my junky... Actually, they're not junky, those are brand new wipers. Yeah, I'm on the road. So anyways, yeah, to my surprise, turned on the recorder and like, oh, where'd everything go? And why do I have two weird audio clips for nothing? I mean, unless my, you know when you butt dial your phone and you're like, oh, I didn't mean to call you, somebody. My butt dialed. You know, maybe my butt, you know, activated my phone, punched in my passcode, navigated to the, you know, the voice recording app, selected all recording, and deleted it all, and then tapped on the confirmation if you were sure you wanted to delete stuff. Maybe that's what happened. Bummer. Anyways, whatever. I'll survive. So that's why I say I was momentarily depressed. Now I'm great. I hope you're doing great too. Yeah, so what's been going on? What's been cooking? Anyways, friends of the show, return listeners, that's how we do it. New listeners, welcome to the circus of a podcast. So I asked the question, what's cooking? And, you know, the family has just come back from another trip. And, you know, I was chatting with Lonnie the other day and told him that I was on vacation. And he said, responded, "You're always on vacation." It seems like it. And the reason for it is we're always on vacation. It's because this awful time of a pandemic, it blows. And the silver lining somewhere, amidst the tarnish and the rust and the scuffs and the dirt and the grime, of this whole pandemic-y, shlemic-y, ness is, there's a little bit of a silver lining. You gotta kind of, depending on the angle that you're looking at it, you can find a little bit of a glimmer somewhere, rub your eyes, spit on your eyes, and take another look to see if you can see that it's there. There's a little bit of a glimmer, of the silver lining, maybe, or as a, squeeze a little breast milk in your eyes, that kind of stuff, because that's, it helps, and, so the silver lining is, it's a lot of work and it's an investment, but, we may never get the opportunity to take an extended stay away with the kids as we are able to now. Same with work, right? And I've talked about it many times. We're fortunate to have the ability, the option to unfortunately, because of this situation, to be more remote than we ordinarily have been in the past. So it's sort of, to use a description that our kids' school has used, and I'm sick and tired of hearing it, is, we're living in unprecedented times. Blech, as I vomited in my own mouth. And it's still true, but to hear it over and over again, it's like, maybe we can stop calling it unprecedented because it's been several months now, so it's precedented, if you're precedented, right? It's normal now. You might not like to hear it, but it's normal, and we can't use unprecedented times as a reason to not kick ass in things. So the next time someone tells you as an excuse that we're living in unprecedented times, that we're going to have to just sort of be lax about things and be lazy about things, and you should squirt breast milk in their eyes. So anyways, so we picked a time when it made the most sense for the family to be out, and we went down south, found a place to sort of camp out for a week. So it was basically, on a weekday, everyone wakes up, goes to school, remote. My wife chose to take time off. I practically took time off, but I still, had to intermittently log into work and gauge where certain projects were, and, to see if my services were needed, and, so I wasn't completely disconnected. But then at some point in the week, I was like, I really disconnected. And we stayed at a very nice place, very nice owner, took care of us, meaning, we had the whole house to ourselves, and we were in contact with the owner via text and phone if we needed anything, if there's any things, that, had issues with it. And there were some things like, we couldn't switch on the gas fireplace because the pilot light was out, and I didn't know any of that stuff. And there were some light bulbs that weren't turning on, and we weren't sure if we were hitting the right switch or whatever. So someone came over to check it out. Lo and behold, that someone happened to be the property owner, and it's nice to have the actual property owner to take care of us and get to meet her. But yeah, she took care of us. We took care of the place, and everyone was happy. So we came back from that trip. It was very relaxing. It was very memorable, and we stayed at several places in this.
Do you need a website? If you're an individual, a consultant, a group, or small business and need a site, or maybe you have an existing site, I can help. How about graphic design? Do you need a design for a t-shirt, logo, product, business cards? Maybe you need help with designing and developing a brand. I'm not an expert, but I do have the tools and the techniques to get the job done. How about a podcast? Yep, like this thing. This thing's a silly little show. Are you looking to set up a podcast of your own? Are you looking to reach an audience? Promote your business via podcast? Well, Abadam Studios. That's right, Abadam Studios. Yeah, so that's Abadam Studios. AbadamStudios.com, AbadamStudios.com. Check it out.
These unprecedented times. And this by far, has been pretty awesome. And, there's been pretty incredible places we've been at, and again, at some point it's all going to end, we're all going to have to kind of roll back to, the dark ages of actually going into the office to work and the kids actually going into a classroom, and having to pay for after school care and things of that nature, but whatever. So that I asked the question, what's been cooking, and man, there's been a whole lot of DoorDashing, basically a lot of takeout or a lot of food being delivered, and it's super convenient. And then there are times where, we're at the grocery picking up stuff, and we're staying at this place, and it's outfitted with a full kitchen. Obviously, it's our whole house, and they've got a nice grill set up outside the house, gas grill. So at least a couple times do burgers for the kids. Yeah, it's been super fun. So nothing creative. I think the only one creative thing was insignificant, and I shared it with a few folks on social. It was like, I wanted to have some sort of salad dressing because I just wanted to eat salad. I'm not a big fan of like the usual salads where you go out in the middle of the workday in town or the city, and they've got all of these fancy salad places, but this is all store-bought greens, and we're at a place that isn't ours, and I have the olive oil, I have salt and pepper, but I want some sort of acid, and the only acid I saw was a bottle of unopened Louisiana hot sauce, and I'm thinking, I need fat, I need salt, and I need acid. The Louisiana hot sauce covers the fat. Covers the salt and the acid, because the vinegar and the salt, and it throws in some heat. So I need the fat. I'm thinking, I'm not going to put the olive oil this time. Let's go try a different fat. So I poured some heavy whipping cream in a little dish, and I splashed a whole lot of that Louisiana hot sauce in it and mixed it up, and it reminded me of sort of a Thousand Island dressing, but obviously it wasn't. And at that moment, it was brilliant for me and my salad, and I enjoyed it. But for folks who can't deal with any of the heat that comes with the Louisiana hot sauce, and guys like Lonnie are going to be like, that's not hot. And, my palate agrees, Louisiana hot sauce isn't hot. It gives you a nice zing and a saltiness. And the benefit of that is that you don't blow out your taste buds and prevent you from tasting your food afterwards, like a lot of other extremely hot sauces. But if you can't stand the heat, you just throw in something sweet. I don't know. My thought were like maybe berries or something. Some sort of berry that you'd be interested in having in your salad. Or maybe some nice, a nice little set of cherry tomatoes. Something with a little bit of a sweet component. But that's the best I got as far as what's cooking. So yeah, speaking of cooking, coming back from the trip, I realized I need to pick up some things at the grocery store again. A couple of the kids, first thing in the morning, well, not first thing, but tomorrow morning they've got an online cooking course. So the two youngest are going to be taking a cooking class from a chef in Tennessee. Formerly of somewhere in Southern Cal, but currently resides in Tennessee, and who's a chef. And very nice chef, nice woman who my daughter's taken a class of hers once before, and we decided to enroll with her again. So, yeah, and that's that. I gotta get that stuff. I'll catch you in a bit. All right, I'm back. I got just about all on my list except one item. I actually kind of missed this. Because coming here, our local grocery store, and at night, and just doing my thing. It reminds me of, the good old days, the earlier times of the pandemic. Those good old days when everyone was fighting for toilet paper and hand sanitizer and wipes and things. Yeah, nobody really knew what to make of it, and it took days and weeks for our local grocery store to show up with, or to have a stocked aisle, paper product aisle of toilet paper. And when it was there, you were allowed one 4-pack, or 2 4-packs, or actually 2 packages of paper products. It could be 2 packages of toilet paper, or 2 paper towels, or 1 of each. Combo. The good old days. Those were the days of, first, the standing in line and socially distancing at the local Trader Joe's here, and things and people are smarter about it now. It's the norm. But yeah, the good old days of practicing that stuff. So I'm back, heading home. So, kind of bummed that I lost some of that recording, but there's a reason for it. Maybe, what I had said on it wasn't meant to be released, but I could always repeat what I remember now, only for it to magically disappear. My butt will delete it again. My ass. Fucking ass. But whatever. I think what happened was my ass was not interested in the last bit of unpublished set of recordings because I had talked about, more of, alcohol has sort of seeped into my my day-to-day, and how it's basically sabotaged, myself, right? And I'm at a point, especially after this, and I keep saying I'm at a point, and I really am at a point, but the question is, am I at a point enough and inspired enough to actually give a shit, right? And I have to, otherwise I'd really, 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 really have to change what this podcast is going to be called, like, Don't Give a Shit podcast, And here's your host. he really doesn't give a shit. And then I kind of like stumble in with my underwear only on and, you know, wearing a wife beater and, you know, unshaven and big old gut. And I'm like, has anybody seen my drink? You know, meanwhile I have it in my hand. I'm like, oh, there it is. And I plop on the recliner as I pull it back, my lazy boy. My feet kind of flip up with the footrest, you know, and I'm only wearing one sock, and it's got a hole on it. Burp. God damn it. I forgot to take off that one sock. I pull it out, you know, because I have my drink on my right hand, because I'm right-handed. I kind of try to like arch over my big old gut to get to that right foot that's wearing that one holy sock, as I use my left arm just kind of, as I struggle to reach to my foot and pull that sock off. I managed to do it. You know, it's kind of like you're tugging at it, and it's kind of anchored to that curve of your ankle, and you know, and the ashy, dry heel. You know, but I stretched the toe of that sock, and then I'm like, damn it, and I kind of slide the ankle a bit lower so I can release it, and I pull the sock off, and you know, and then I sniff it and think, yeah, I can still wear that. I toss it off to the side. So yeah, you know, what's enough for me to really do something, you know? And one of the realizations, not just this recent trip, but it happened in this trip, but you know, last month my kids had a birthday party, and it was primarily for the benefit, because of the birthday theme, it was primarily for the benefit of our daughter, you know, and part of the program was to have a little father-daughter dance, you know, and which meant, you know, my wife wanted to make sure that I wasn't just going to be wearing like jeans and a t-shirt, you know, a Hanes t-shirt or whatever, Fruit of the Looms, you know, the classic guy look, right? And she calls those t-shirts, what do you call it, like inside shirts, you know, like the shirts you wear inside like a dressier shirt for some reason. I'm like, but they're shirts. You can just wear them as shirts, you know. Anyway, so I on that, you know, that day for my daughter's birthday, and in preparation for the father-daughter dance, I kind of went to the closet. I'm thinking, okay, I'll just put this one on, and oh, look at that! Those buttons are about to pop if I don't really suck it in, and that, my friends, is a low point. And so I put on a different shirt that fit me a little bit better to avoid, you know, that painful reality. Only for this past trip, because we did take family photos, I had to put on that same shirt, and I was like, oh my God. Good thing these kids are grown, because I could hide behind the kids. But, you know, I could see it in the photos. I could see it, you know, because the magic of digital photos is you can see the resulting image right away. No longer do you have to take it to, like, where I formerly worked as a young lad, a photo processing lab, developing C41 film, and printing out based on the negatives, and yeah, having all the color wrong because I'm colorblind. So yeah, and you know, I had to, you know, I suffered through 2 rounds of that torture, putting on, you know, my nice clothes that I can no longer fit properly. Had to put it on one day for a photo session in the morning, and then later on in the afternoon. Yeah, heaven's sakes. So yeah, I'm really trying to find those moments to grab onto, to motivate me to do something, to make a change, You know, and I'm even trying to think of really like horrible things, like what if I just get really sick, because my health is not, you know, my health is suffering because of my lifestyle choices. You know, nothing but just getting back on track will fix it. You know, and that could happen. You know, I need to shift my mind to be able to do that and get on track, but I'm not there, you know, not there yet. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe, you know, God, such a bummer of a recording. Yeah, and you know, for the week we were out, I had like 2 exercise sessions. You know, one was, you know, I skip rope. You know, I did several rounds of the skip rope, just to get some, not so much the exercise to like, oh, this one half-hour session on the jump rope is going to make a big difference in, you know, in my physique, but it was more of, I just needed it for my mind. You know, and the other session was, you know, spending just about the same amount of time in the pool and just, you know, doing laps in the pool. Not because I felt it was going to help me lose the weight, but I really need to use it to sort my mind. I don't know. So the question is, do I continue to just find these moments to work out so I could continue to work on my mind and hope along the way, as a side effect, you know, I get in shape? I don't know. That's the question. Hey guys, so yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Christmas music lately. Just feeling that sort of mood, you know. As a matter of fact, we have our Christmas tree up, and it's only mid-November. It hasn't even hit Thanksgiving yet. But the idea behind that is we're going to be away for a few more days next week. And wanted to make sure that was taken care of. And so there we go. Yeah, I got cut off. And what I was trying to say was we're going to be away for the Thanksgiving, for a chunk of the Thanksgiving week. And wanted to make sure that we got the tree all set up and done. And so you're probably thinking, like, yeah, since he's doing it that much in advance, it can't be a fresh tree, and that is correct. We've got the fake tree, and we love it. Love the fake tree. Yeah. I'm on the road again. I'm heading back home from doing some last-minute buying for ingredients. Yeah, and gonna be up a little late doing some bake shop stuff with my wife. I know it sounds kinky, I know, but that's just how we roll. So anyways, you know, talking about being away, we're gonna take a stab at RVing, and it, you know, just deciding to do it and when to do it has been a challenge. And so we decided, you know, Thanksgiving week, the kids are gonna be out of school, so we're gonna use most of that time to try out the whole RV experience. And you know, it's sort of a lot of okay, let's commit and book something, and we'll figure out the logistics, and all that stuff. So, we booked a motorhome from Cruise America, and then we sort of just let that sat. We sat on that, and then after a while, time had passed from when we first booked it, and we're getting closer to if we want to change our minds, we're gonna cross that threshold where we'd lose a deposit. So, but we hadn't really put a lot of energy into what the logistics were going to be and how we felt about it. And because we were amidst sort of a getaway, and a bunch of other things with school and work, and just trying to decompress and take some time off to just not think, And so what I was saying is, when we got back from it all and started thinking about the motorhome, the RV trip, I was like, this kind of suck. We don't want to do it that way. We don't want to go and pick it up and then lose time having it in our possession, only to just park it at home and then head out the following morning and then leave our RV space, campground space, early so that we can return the vehicle, on time and all that stuff. It just didn't seem like it made sense the way that it flowed. It's our first time. We don't know anything. So we found an alternative, and it's really more attractive. It changes the whole experience of RVing, but I guess it suits us until we're ready to actually go full on hit the road with an RV.
And that's all I got. Thanks for listening. Remember, folks, hug your friends, hug your family, eat something delicious, and I need to go run something. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Ruel's Running Podcast with Ruel. If you like what you just heard, share it with your friends and your enemies. Also, be sure to check out the site over at ruelsrunning.com. This has been another Coffee with Heavy Cream production. Join us next time for another silly show of Ruel's Running Podcast.